as far as I can remember, I started drawing when I could write. It has always been part of me. It was like a second nature for me. When other kids would play sports, I would just stay home and draw. That was my way of expressing myself. I drew because I wanted to paint a picture of something that's beyond my reality. To see a world, beyond what's around me. Where does the process start? I think that's a very good question. I didn't start a project with a problem. I think I started with a curiosity. When I was browsing YouTube videos and I saw this clip of mountain goats climbing a nearly vertical wall, I was just so amazed by their climbing ability. And I wanted to connect the dots. I wanted to see if there's anything I can learn from mountain goats and apply that into human bodies. My name is Kai Lin. I live in Brooklyn, and I'm an industrial designer.
What does design mean to you personally?
Sorry, that was actually my mom. It's like, how's the filming going? I'm recording, Mom! Design is solving a problem that helps people to have a better life.
That means observe.
Observe closely. Design is looking closely at the things that others might not have noticed. Design is putting yourself into other people's shoes and observing the users and their daily lives. The fact that I'm designing a prosthetic for rock climbing might seem ironic. I'm not a professional rock climber. I'm not even that good at sports. I don't see a lot of nature on a daily basis. I actually don't know anyone who's an amputee personally, but I've always wanted to kind of put myself in other people's shoes. I've always been very fascinated by the struggles or the joy that other people feel. Oh, what is that person thinking? Or what does that person need? How can I make it better?
Hello, testing. No? So I can't hear you. Oh. You look really nice. Oh, thanks.
I met Kai through a mutual friend about 3 years ago who kind of introduced me to his project.
How you doing?
Never actually met Kai. I've yet to meet Kai in person. We have a computer dating relationship.
Can you hear me? I hear you now.
But we met online and we talked and we really liked each other the way we thought and went back and forth trading ideas.
Good. Haven't seen you for a while. How are you, Craig?
Well, the weather is getting nicer now.
It's so humbling for me to have this person say, I want to be able to build something that's actually going to help you in what you do and what you're passionate about.
I mean, I know that you can't make a mechanical foot do things that a human foot can do, because you can run, you can walk, you can jump, you can do all these things with your feet, you can stand on your tippy toes. Prosthetics don't do that. They do one thing, and so you have a walking one and you have a climbing one. But it would be amazing to be able to use a prosthetic that isn't just this dead shape at the end of my leg. So if you had something that was able to give feedback and able to adapt to certain terrain as it's happening, really thin finger crack pockets or Wacos, that would be next level. no longer would the foot be holding you back. It would just be your physical fitness level at that point.
People like him can take the feedback, they can listen to it, use it, and make something better from it. And that's kind of what is so beautiful about Kai, is that he's willing to do that. He's willing to just say, how can we make this better now?
Mountain goats, it's just something I can do, you know. I draw a lot with my intuition. What feels right. There might not be a very compelling reason, but that's okay. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'm just drawing it. In my original concept, my design closely resembles a goat's foot, their hoof, but there are limitations of putting a goat's hoof on a human body. The process is like pushing all the way to the animal side, but then understanding the constraints and limitation of a human body and bring it back. So it's that constant push and pull to find that perfect balance between what you learn from nature and what you understand about human.
Hey, Kai.
Can you hear me?
I hear you now. It feels like it's been at least a year. I mean,
Long day at work, but today's really sunny.
So I want to show you my latest prototype.
so this is what I have right now.
When a climber puts force on the toe part of the foot, the angle pivots, and a linkage system that converts rotary motion to linear motion compresses the spring. Once the pressure is released, the pivot bounces back, releasing elastic potential energy. This mechanism replaces the Achilles tendon in a human foot.
And so connecting that to me is actually quite easy now. My prosthetic can kind of just drop right in from the pipe. Exactly. This piece right here.
The shoe part is detachable and it will be made of flexible rubberized material.
If you shaved off a half an inch on either side,
At what point should the ankle pivot too hard, too light?
what happens when you go over that 400 pounds? A lot of the load from me that I generate is going to come from the toe.
And if this joint breaks off, the whole leg falls off.
It's going to shear off. It's going to shear off there.
I remember when I first designed this prosthetic leg, I actually had nightmares of people using it and then like falling off the cliff. No! I think there's a lot of responsibility of a designer, right?
I love it. I love it. I'm so excited to bolt that sucker on. You did such a great job, so thank you. Dude, put a stamp on that thing and mail it. All right, I'm climbing then.
In 2002, I was accidentally dropped 100 feet while I was climbing. Hit the ground, which resulted in a huge list of injuries to my whole body. The most notably being that I had to have my back and neck fused, and then the eventual amputation of my right leg. Then I went back to climbing 4 months after the amputation and started to kind of work my way through how I could be a climber again, as well as this adaptive climber. And that's kind of what I've been able to do over the past 15 years now. I think for me, going back to climbing was like, it was only really in question like right after the accident, just because I didn't know really what I had as far as my physical body anymore. But then once I kind of got over that hump of, okay, I'm this now, this is my new normal, then it was like I couldn't ignore the climbing thing. I feel like it's just such a part of who I am and who I've always been. Being able to like immerse myself in it, it's actually kind of cathartic for me because I get to go do the thing that on the surface, almost killed me, but beneath that surface is this really rich experience, and I really crave that experience. And so I did the route probably 2 or 3 times up to like a high point where we had, I could kind of experiment in different pieces of the crack. And as I was cranking into it, like the one of the times, are you ready? I'm gonna show it to you. This all happened.
It broke.
So we broke. We're broken.
Well, that would be that one.
Yeah, I cammed it and it broke.
Damn it. It was doing good.
I know, I feel bad because I feel like I broke your baby.
It torqued it, it bent it over and torqued it.
No, that's totally okay. I mean, that's expected.
That's what we said too.
Yeah.
We were like, that's kind of why we test these things, right? To figure out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a maraca. For years, I mean, it was a drawing for years, and then it was his project, and had never touched rock until yesterday. So that's pretty impressive, like that it even could come and do anything.
It doesn't matter how powerful or how advanced, the simulation software is. There's the difference between, like kind of designing something conceptually, like you're on your computer, and then there's like the real testing application. There's definitely that discrepancy between, ideas and reality.
It's like that return of energy is what I'm looking for. I can fold it really easily just by my body weight. Put a beefier spring in there.
The bigger the spring is, the more space it takes. What do you think of the size?
I wouldn't change that at all.
It makes sense to use a lightweight, rigid material for the shoe.
With sticky rubber, it would really stay on the wall, I think. I'm psyched to see some of it to the next level.
Tell me a bit about how you've used curvature in the design.
Curves. There are different levels of energy with different kinds of curves. Some curves are fast and powerful, other curves are slow and elegant. So the combination of different kinds of curves with different radius creates that powerful dynamic between fast and slow. When a curve has a fast momentum, it's strong, it's powerful, it's durable. It has a force.
If you look at yourself and you think, I feel powerful, then that narrative is in your head and you're creating that new pathway. So that pathway now is that I'm I'm powerful. And so if you look that way and you think that way, then you're probably going to be that way in some form. I feel like when I put my prosthetic on, it's an extension of me. If it's this ugly, clumpy thing that just looks like crap and moves like crap, or even if it looks like crap but moves really well, it's going to affect how I view it. Whereas if I put something on that's elegant and, you know, streamlined and efficient, that makes me feel more efficient and streamlined, and so that only helps my climbing then.
Part of the beauty of an object comes with how it makes the users feel. A beautiful product that brings joy to its users has its beauty beyond just aesthetics. Functionality itself is also beautiful.
So we took it for a test drive today, and this was like double as good. Like it went from like, you know, here, it went to here, and then I broke it again. Yeah, so I broke the hole right where the base joins the pivot. I broke that, I sheared that, and then I sheared the two struts behind it. There's non-destructive testing, and then there's destructive testing. We're the destructive side. Do I want to take that totally off?
Yeah. So that's actually a really easy fix from my end.
But like, here's the thing: the first 5 routes I did, it climbed really well. Right up to that part, it was like right on it. It was pretty amazing how well it climbed, actually.
And this is all part of the process. I think every time we break it, it's like one step closer to a better design. You know, all those experiences, all those broken pieces, you know, like contribute to the final end design.
We're like,
I know, we're so close.
like, oh my gosh, it's like a small tweak. Exactly, it's such a small tweak in this. You know, when this all started, having someone from your background that is so different than mine, and yet that person says, I think something is actually possible here, then have the courage to like step into it and lean into it and say, I'm gonna go ahead and do this now, and not even know where it's gonna go. That's really powerful. Even just having one person say that to you is really powerful to me.
Before starting this project, I wasn't even, you know, rock climbing at all. I didn't really know much about it. You know, a whole new subject matter that was totally out of my expertise. Having you in this process, it means so much to me. Just being so encouraging and positive, and just, you know, all the progress that, you know, has come so far and to where it is today. A lot of it really goes to you. You know,
dude, that's money.
way to show you the next prototype.
I'm really glad to get your positive feedback. It's very encouraging.
I'm incredibly grateful for it. So thank you.
We'll talk soon. All right. Have a good night.
All right, have a great night.
Thanks again, Craig.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.